Hi, everyone. I'm Steve here with Nicole, the gut girl. As always, thanks for being here, Nicole.
Thank you for having me.
So, we've talked a lot. We did in our last video, talked about detoxing a little bit, just kind of off the cuff. But this is something, in our last conversation, we are talking about even if you're eating perfectly,
Mm.
detoxing is something that we need to do because of the water, the air, the everything,
Yep.
our environment, and I'm not some, global warming nut, but the air, the water, the food, the soil, um, no matter how well we do, it's hard to avoid some of these toxins. And so we're going to need to detox once in a while. But we
Yep.
were talking before we turned to this on, and some of the signs, and you were talking about specifically maybe the face. How do we know, or what are some indications that it's time for us to detox?
So my husband always makes super huge fun of me because I will really, when we go places, I'll look at people's faces so that I can see, oh man, they need to detox. They need to do this. I
You know what?
won't
I
say
do that too. I
that.
look to see if they have the visceral fat,
Yes.
and then their ankles, and okay, I'm no doctor, but I'm sitting there, they probably boom, boom,
Yeah. Yeah. And
Anyway, that's funny. You're looking at people's faces.
it's not something that we're judging them for. It's just something that I'm like, ooh,
It's your profession, right? I,
totally.
I'm
Yes.
in the health club business. I analyze people's bodies,
Yes.
fat, thin, whatever. My wife does it too. So it's funny.
Yep.
You're analyzing faces. So sorry,
Yes.
go ahead.
So if somebody has swollen eyes or redness in the eyes, I always think that they have an upper digestive issue. That's something in the sinus issues. Their spleen needs to be detoxed, that kind of stuff. If they have, and this is more in my practice, but if I see or I'm talking to them and I can see it and they have tongue issues, can't like a white film on the tongue, I know that there's a bacteria issue in the gut. And I always look and want to do a GI map test, which is a stool test on them, because that will show large intestine problems. And also, it's a large intestine test, but I can see if it's passing through the small intestine and into the large intestine. We probably got a small intestine problem. Um, Also, some lung issues. If they're showing tongue swollen, adrenal issues, if somebody's talking to me and the topic comes up and they have scalloping on the sides, usually means they have a big adrenal issue and that they need some help in that area with detoxing, giving some love to the adrenals, all that kind of stuff. Looking deeper, there can be a lot of syndromes because of that.
And so you would detox the liver in this case, or you said the spleen, the other thing. So what, give us some thoughts on the protocol. What do you use for a detox like this?
So I always start with a liver detox, and normally I will keep a liver supplement in people as I'm killing things or as I'm restoring it back to a good state, because the liver filters everything. So you have to really give that liver some attention before you start detoxing so it's in a good state to go forward. I use glutathione. I use Ayurvedics. For the liver, I use a liver cleanse protocol that I use through Thorn, that has milk thistle, um, um, Jerusalem artichoke in it, that kind of stuff, in order to get the liver happy while we're doing this.
You use N-acetylcysteine, I'm
I do.
assuming,
Oh, yes, I do.
Glynac and stuff like
Yep.
that.
Oh, yes.
Hmm. So, don't you think this is something that everyone should do periodically, no matter what, even if they don't have any evidence of it?
Yep. I always, you know this, we talk about this a lot. I always keep glutathione in my regimen in a protocol for me daily. But, you know, I always focus on a liver cleanse once a year, a good, healthy liver cleanse. I put myself through a 30-day protocol, and that keeps my hormones running nicely. I have H. pylori that is dormant. It will keep my liver from helping with that, the whole 9 yards.
And you got into this, what you're doing, being a holistic nutritionist, because of your own issues, hormone issues. So you really specialize in hormones and the gut.
Absolutely, because the gut ties to hormones. So you got to clean up the gut and then attack hormones, because the gut can cause those kind of problems. And I had a lot of problems, and it took me a long time to get help. That's why I went back to school.
You might not be able to do this, but is there one simple tip that you can give people just for general health, uh, gut health, like a supplement or something that just basic? I know it's always very, very complicated, but is there one simple tip that you could have people try? Um,
So maybe not a tip to try, but here's something that is a tip that so many people disregard. If you have bloating, gas, bowel issues, that is not normal. Something is going on. Don't, please don't chalk that up to, oh, that's just normal. Having diarrhea 3 weeks out of the month is totally okay. Or I haven't pooped in 3 days. That is
wow.
absolutely not normal. And I have more and more people coming into my practice thinking that those things are normal because they've been told, oh, just must be something you ate. Sure, it could have led from that, but now you've got a whole host of problems. Skin issues, not normal. Bowel issues, not normal. So if you have intense bad breath and you can't get away from it, probably got some H. pylori.
Hmm. And we've talked about that. Simple protocol for H. pylori.
So I use a particular protocol for H. pylori, but the important part with that protocol that I use is I always, when I'm killing something, I put a binder in, because you have to take what you're killing out of the body. You do not want it to recirculate to another organ, another system. You don't want it to do that.
And that would be like charcoal.
Yes, charcoal, zeolite, or the combination of that, fulvic acid, anything like that.
Okay, so Nicole, if people want to get a hold of you, I know you'll give them $100 off if they mention that they saw um, this interview. How do they get a hold of you, or follow you online? What's the easy way?
You can reach me at the email thegutgirl1@gmail.com. And you can always message me or follow me on any social media platform that's the Gut Girl NV.
Okay, Nicole, as always, thanks for being with us and
Thank
thanks for your insight.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for having me.